is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
These are good problems to have, right? So much success that you have more than one place to be.
5-3, touchdown, Oregon.
Off a dribble, launches, and hits the three. Oregon leads.
What a great opportunity it is to be able to play at the University of Oregon.
I'm just incredibly proud to be a part of something like this.
She wants another three. Oh, three in a row.
Swing and a miss. Oregon is headed to the Super Regional.
Fans being out there making this a great impact.
We are so privileged and so fortunate. We get to see all these young people. We get to see this incredible growth, which is what college is all about.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
Hey, busy day on the program. We've got H.J. Cohn, Oregon Senior Associate Athletic Director in charge of the Duck Athletic Fund, joining us. Some ticket updates for you for the rest of the year. Women's basketball schedule, men's basketball season tickets are coming out. We also have Oregon Volleyball head coach Matt Ulmer joining us here on the show. That's all on today's program. Of course, Oregon football head coach Dan Lanning, he meets with the media every Monday night, which means we'll always start off a Tuesday show hearing from the Oregon football head coach. Ducks went to the doctor over the weekend. Things to improve, no doubt. We'll talk about all those things coming up. Now, with the start of the 24-25 women's basketball season a couple months away, today, Kelly Graves announced the first 4 games of the season, as well as an exhibition contest that will all be played at Matthew Knight Arena. Starts on November 1st against Warner Pacific, Friday exhibition game. Then November 4th, the first counting game against California Baptist on a Monday evening. Wednesday, November 6th, the Ducks will play Nevada. Sunday, November 10th, Oregon playing Baylor at Matthew Knight Arena. Big-time matchup. A return trip from when the Ducks went to Baylor. And then on Tuesday, November 12th, North Texas will be in town. Nevada and Baylor, both part of return trips, those scheduling partnerships that lead to some big-time non-conference games for a new-look Oregon women's basketball team. In May, the Big Ten Conference revealed Oregon's league opponents and locations for the first season, but we're still waiting on the selections and times and dates and TV for all of those, and we'll have them for you as soon as the conference and TV partners figure all that out. Of course, pregame begins half an hour before every Oregon women's basketball game this season. Chris Clayton and Bev Smith back on the call for you for another year. Now to Oregon football, televised on Peacock, a 7:05 official kickoff on Saturday. The Ducks hosting the Broncos of Boise State. And look, there's no doubt about it. There have been some history-making games between these two programs. And Boise State's been on the good side of a lot of those. Here's hoping to change that at Autzen Stadium coming up on Saturday, just after 7 o'clock. We'll have that kickoff for you. That means a 5 o'clock pregame show for us across the Oregon Sports Network. Every time we talk with Coach Lanning, it's brought to you by the Willamette Valley Cancer Institute and Research Center, better cancer care close to home. Last night, head coach Dan Lanning at the podium in his weekly press conference.
Obviously excited to get back into Autzen this weekend, get to play a really good opponent. Obviously, they're really talented across the board and have had a lot of success over the last several years. Certainly a really good team and a good challenge for us. Had a good work day this morning to start and excited to get to it.
You guys talked about going to the doctor on Sunday. What was that like yesterday, and what do you think the mindset of this team is going forward?
Yeah, I thought our guys had a really good work day today. They certainly attacked things and appreciated things that we got to improve, so they handled it the right way.
What did the film tell you about maybe some of the offensive line deficiencies?
Yeah, we didn't play well enough, and there were some, miscommunications that we had to clean up, but certainly room for improvement. But they know that they didn't play to the standard that we want, and we can be better there.
Yeah, what are your thoughts just on how the pass rush performed on Saturday, and what more would you like to see from that group?
Yeah, I thought it was good at times. We got hurt on some screen games, so, the ability to retrace and recognize that would be, improvement and something that we're really working on. But I thought you saw some good pass rush from us.
When penalties were an issue on the O-line all of last season, I'm sure you guys harped on it all offseason, Dan. At what point, what threshold does accountability have to include playing time for some of that?
Yeah, it does when you have people that are better, that can perform and have proven that they're accountable as well, right? So you put the best on the field that are accountable and proven that they can do it at the right level. And when you have that option, that's when you certainly can do that.
Coach, you talked a lot about the growth that this team could learn from, obviously, last weekend's game. What did you learn from watching the film, and what do you think you guys can improve upon before moving into this next weekend's game?
I think there's a lot of nuggets. I mean, you go back and you look at the overall game, and you're winning in a lot of categories. The categories we really didn't win on were situational football and the way we ran the ball, right? So when we had the ball twice before half, we didn't score. Had an opportunity to kick, didn't make the kick. Didn't score in the middle eight. Generally that's been something that we've done, well. That offensively, defensively gave us some explosive plays, even on limited possessions. But we had 87 snaps, they had 48 snaps, right? So you had the ball a lot more, but we weren't creating the explosives that turn into, positives. So finding ways to do that, a lot of that comes with, effort to the ball, finishing, proper mechanics, but you look at it and you study those pieces. How do we create those things? And then you attack it and you build your practice plan around that as well. A lot of the things we saw that were places for us to improve, those are exact things that we worked on today.
How do you feel like the in-helmet communication went? Where do you feel like you can continue to improve on that when the season goes on?
Some good, some bad, and I think that's the way these games have to work, right? You have to learn from it and figure out, okay, what's really effective, what's not. But there was some positive from it. Some things where it really helped us, allowed us to get in and or out of good looks. But then also there were some times that it wasn't effective enough, and we need to do a better job of utilizing that.
For Johnny, what are some of the difficulties of being a right tackle for a right-handed quarterback to then being a right tackle for a left-handed quarterback and covering the blind side, some of the intricacies that maybe the common fan might not think about?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just said it, right? There is a difference. But ultimately, you're trying to keep the pocket clean, and the pocket, unless it's a movement pass, it's not going to be in a completely different place. But there's some things there that make it a little bit different as far as where, players will step up and where, the depth of the pocket, what that looks like. But generally, it's still very similar in position.
Sure, the running back put a lot of things on film that were impressive in their opener. What kind of stands out about that challenge and what he's done?
Yeah, I think this is the best running back I've seen since I've been here. He's certainly an NFL guy, and he doesn't go down on first contact ever. He's one of the best stiff arm guys that we've gone against. He runs really, really physical. And then, the next guy they brought in ran for 100 yards too. So really powerful rushing attack. Their offense does a lot of good things to scheme you up. And, they have compliments off of each play, right? So a great stretch play is going to have a great boot play action off of it as well. So they hold you accountable. They make you tackle. They're going to make, DBs tackle. They do a really good job of that. And the back certainly, is a big piece of their success.
How much does the familiarity with Tosh and Dirk Cutter having worked together, and both Tony and their DC having worked together, how much does that help, do you think? And I mean, it obviously works both ways, but how much?
Yeah, that's what I'd say. I think it helps with the familiarity, but it certainly works both ways, right? So, Dirk's been a really, successful coach for a long time, and he has basically every bag of tricks or every play that you can have, in your repertoire, he has it. But having some familiarity with each other, I think, certainly helps. But it goes, both directions when it comes to that.
Talked about more explosive plays. Dylan talked about the same thing on Saturday. How much of it was him not making the correct read? How much of it was taking what the defense gave you because it wasn't there?
Yeah, I'd say none of it was really him not making the right read. I think we took a shot early in the game down the field, and then they stopped playing that coverage that gave us the opportunity to take that shot. We called a lot of shot plays. They played over the top, so I think Dylan made the smart decision with where he took the ball, where he got to the ball. And, you don't go, 41 to 50 passing if that's not the case. So he did a really good job of making decisions on where he could actually go with the ball, given the opportunity. They just eliminated some of those opportunities to take those shots. I think more of your explosives are going to come whenever you do catch the ball in space. Who's going to break a tackle? Who's going to go cover up on the block downfield? And those are the things that we got to do a better job taking care of. And then being able to run the ball more effectively.
Both Bedford and Gary were listed as questionable, and it looked like they went through warm-ups and at least were in uniform. Are you optimistic that they could go this week?
Yeah, I am.
Run defense was obviously really good last season, Dan, but in the losses, it was a tougher go, and obviously that was a good O-line in those games and the like. This is a pretty good O-line. You mentioned their running game. When you went about corrections in the offseason, were there things that you guys noticed in terms of execution in particular, more than just the caliber of the opponent, that led to some of the results last season in the run game that led to that disparity?
Yeah, combination of all things, right? Combination of the technique, combination of scheme, but certainly some things that we recognize that we want to have good answers for going into the offseason.
From a bigger picture point of view, how impressed have you been, or what has been your view of the leadership on this team after a rough week one and some of the older guys in this room?
I think we had some great leaders on this team. I think it certainly showed up today with the way the guys came out and worked. And I think these guys have a really high standard for what they expect for themselves, again, regardless of results. So I think that all showed up today.
When you're scouting Boise defensively, just what stands out about that unit? What do you like?
Yeah, it's one of the most unique. They do a lot of different package personnels, and it's very unique in how they do it. Whether it's dime and they're bringing a safety down in the box to play will linebacker. They'll have fronts at times that have 2 defensive linemen in. They have a unique set where they'll carry dime, nickel, base personnel, and they use them in a lot of different ways. Got a really talented defensive end. Their linebackers, as good as we face. He's a known blitzer and does a really good job of, creating negative plays. So they are sound, and there's some veteran leadership where these guys really attack the ball really, really well. I mean, they take shots at the ball consistently and make that the difference. So I think they're going to pitch a lot of different looks at us, and it's important to be able to see those looks.
Atticus handled kickoffs and plays kicking in the opener. What did he do in camp to kind of earn those responsibilities?
Yeah, just consistency and performance.
Whether it's this week or into the future, once Bedford does come back, what is the decision then at center, and how did Charlie do upon evaluation of line calls and protections and the like?
His communication was pretty good, but just like everybody on our team, some good, some bad, some things to improve. Once we have more people available, I think there is always opportunities to look and see what that lineup looks like. I think there's, regardless of if Matt's available or not, I think that's something you always have to try to create at every position, that competition that makes you better, and having more guys that can play winning football. So we'll see what it looks like as we move forward, but I think Charlie handled a lot of things really well. Charlie certainly wasn't the guy that didn't play, was the guy that didn't play well on the offensive line. I think it was a unit. That's the unit that has to play well together, right? And it takes all 5 guys being on the same page and executing at a high clip. And he's part of that unit, right? So he has ownership in that. But on the same note, there were multiple guys that didn't play to their standard or our standard on Saturday.
When you have 2 former right guards who, over the last 5-6 years of this program, were here, that was their position. When you have them on staff, what value is that when we're talking about right guard position, whether it's with Pancho, with Matt, with whoever may be there? What is the value of Ryan and Dallas being here in general, but specific to this position where there's been a change?
Yeah, I don't know that it plays anything into that position specifically, but their energy, enthusiasm when it comes to coaching their players to be, really talented and to do it at a high level. Those are guys that did it at a high level, and I think it matters to them. But they're good coaches. The 2 guys you mentioned, Ryan and Dallas, are both really good coaches. They coach these guys hard. Our players trust them. So it's always good having guys like that can communicate with them.
That's Dan Lanning, Oregon football head coach. Every time we talk with him, brought to you by our friends at Willamette Valley Cancer Institute and Research Center. Better cancer care close to home. Weekly press conference every Monday night. We'll lead off Tuesday's show with it during the regular season. When we come back, it's time for the athletic director portion of the show. H.J. Cohn is here, and he has a lot to say. We're coming back to the Country Financial Studio in a moment on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Kids ask their parents a lot of questions.
Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/therightseat.
Where do babies come from?
Good luck, Dad. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
You know, I wondered if, as an alum, if H was just going to start doing the clap with the fight song, and you didn't do it.
I didn't know if I was going to mess up the audio here.
Yeah, so
I didn't want to take over for you.
I think I completely threw a wrench into H's equation. H is usually good for some shenanigans when he comes on the show. I'm waiting for that. I'm ready.
It's fine. We got a half hour.
I wore the bulletproof vest for you today.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
H.J.
Cohn, Senior Associate Athletic Director. He's in charge of a lot of things. I just say the Duck Athletic Fund's finest, and we begin there. So, H, we've been coming up with alternative names for people on the show. John Sargent is now the head of hangar management. Jason Harris is the Assistant Athletic Director of People and Venues. I'm, of course, broadcast schmuck. That's been long time. Do you have a suggestion for yourself?
No, you can't ever coin yourself something.
Okay.
That's against the rules, first off. So
well, you're right. You can't give yourself your own nickname.
You guys got some homework.
Okay. In the studio, by the end of the interview today.
No, end of the workday. I want to be gone.
Okay.
I don't want to.
You don't want to know?
Push you guys one way or the other. It's got to be natural, and you guys, the committee here, has to decide. You guys got a tough job.
Yeah, tough job. Yeah, I get paid to talk about people exercising and scoring baskets and touchdowns.
Yeah,
it's
not bad.
Rough life. What's been the latest? What's going on for you?
Obviously, football last weekend kicked off the season and kind of really started our fall sports. Soccer and volleyball going. Volleyball with a nice victory over the weekend and soccer doing the same. So excited that they're going, and now football, something that many people take joy in Eugene, and was a great game day. I mean, to see that place as electric as it was when the Harley ran out in the team, and then you transition into welcoming back Hronis and Sabrina and honoring them in a way that was
such
always
an
special.
awesome round of applause for both of them.
Yeah, no, when we reached out, it was really cool. I mean, Hronis was really moved, and he's coming up on year 10 in the NFL, and he's that's wild to think that was 10 years ago that he was here and had a great career here and has done some great things in the NFL. So for him to come back and sold out stadium, place was rocking at the beginning, and to see him be recognized in a way and honored in a way, and then follow up with his wife Sabrina, coming off an Olympics gold medal, to have them back is always fun, and having our former student athletes come back is always exciting. So great atmosphere at the game. Fans were awesome. But at the same time, we have room for improvement internally. I mean, when you have a what felt like 100-degree day, and probably was on the field at least at times, and a sold-out house, you got a lot of people in one venue, and how do you maximize the customer experience? And at the end of the day, we're always trying to improve, and we love feedback, positive or negative. You obviously want to get more positive than not, but there's always areas that we can improve, and operationally I think there's some areas that we can improve to make sure that game day experience is at a level that we consider excellent, and that's what we strive for. And when you go back through and look at it, heat obviously played a factor in it. I caution everyone again, coming up this weekend, it's going to be another hot one. Yes, it's going to be a later kickoff, but all things considered, take care of yourselves, hydrate. In whatever fashion that is that you do, but hydrate, and we're going to continue to get better too.
I guess on that note, takeaways for fans heading into week 2. What else should fans know?
Yeah, one thing I would say, dating back to last year even, fans have done a great job of getting in the venue earlier and not waiting till 11 minutes before kickoff. So, like I alluded to earlier, when we were in the venue and the Harley runs out and the team runs out behind it, you look up and around the stadium and it was full.
Stripe out looked good. It
was loud. I thought that played a big role from just when you wait 9 months to come back home, if you will, into Autzen Stadium, I know so many people enjoy that. It was really well done, and the fans were in their seats early. We had some trickling in the GA section. But beyond that, fans have done a great job of getting into venues early. I think not necessarily only at Autzen Stadium, but when you're trying to cram 60,000 or whatever the number is into a venue, you really got to make sure to give yourself some time. It's a sheer numbers game at some level. And so our fans, I would encourage them, again, to continue doing that throughout the season. Get in early. We're going to have more availability of water stations and water bottle availability throughout. And again, with the heat coming, those are little things that we're going to continue to harp on and make sure we're providing the best experience.
I think it is after the first game, I guess maybe it's a good time to revisit this. Like, I'm always amazed at the logistics and just the amount of effort it takes to pull off something with 60,000 people in a venue. Like, it's never lost on me how difficult that is. And I got to tell you, I was kind of excited that Jerry and Jorgie were actually late getting to the broadcast booth because there were so many people around. True story. Like, I don't mean that as a shot at Jerry and Jorgie.
That's what they told you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's true.
Right.
There were a lot of people, though, to your point.
No, there was, but Jerry's got a nap a couple times in there, so that might, that might have been some of it. But we'll buy it.
Jorgie doesn't nap.
No, the machine? No.
That's right.
Of course not.
But don't worry, he wore shorts, and he will wear shorts at Wisconsin. He has already committed.
I love it. I love it. Well, it was great to have, like I said, people back in Autzen Stadium. A celebratory moment for kicking off football season. And excited for this week's game against Boise State.
You always want everything to go perfectly and efficiently. And you mentioned it, like feedback helps with that, right? Feedback helps. And hey, the teams often say that the improvement from week 1 to week 2 is maybe the biggest jump. Maybe that's the case for everybody, huh?
Again, I think we can have the perfect game day and beat a top 5 team or whatever in Autzen State, and people are happy. But there's still, that doesn't take away from the fact, at least the way I'm looking at it, and a lot of our department is looking at it from an operations standpoint, how can you improve? And your hope is that the kid that saw his first game at Autzen Stadium,
that's right,
had a memorable experience. Probably that is going to coincide with were they able to see the Duck, and did they win?
Yeah.
But what are the parents? What are they going through, and what does that experience look like for them? So, no matter what of an outcome, if you will, on the field that we have, there's always operations that we can continue to get better at. And that's something, again, in all of our venues and all of our different units, whether it's ticketing, concessions, facilities, whatever it may be, we have to continue to go for that excellence level.
The broadcaster sounds good when the team is good. The game day experience is usually much more fun when the team is good. That helps.
Fair, yeah, absolutely.
No doubt about it,
No, I mean, I think, Dan alluded to it also is, there's areas for improvement. And the great thing for all of us is there's another opportunity in 5 days.
That's right.
And we only have a few reserve tickets left, so we expect a great atmosphere again against a really good team in Boise State.
About 100 reserve tickets left, expecting another packed house at Autzen Stadium. To that point, H, like you mentioned, you want that memorable experience for someone who's like, this is their first game. I think that it's so cool when you get a Horonis, a Sabrina coming back. You're often the person that helps facilitate that, How rewarding is that for you, just as an individual, like to see that happiness, those faces, like when people get that moment of round of applause at Autzen? Like, to me, that stuff never gets old.
No, I'll agree with you on the never gets old. It's not necessarily me or only me. There's a lot of people involved, and we have a notable alumni coming back this coming Saturday as well, and I don't know if it's public or not, so I won't mention it. But you got to be in person to see it. So there you go, get to Autzen. But with that, there's a lot of people involved in this department that have developed relationships, whether it's an administrator, whether it's a friend, whether it's a coach. And we love having former student athletes come back. And I think they really enjoy it too. When you go back and take the professional athletes especially, when they move on, it quickly becomes a business. And, yes, you're playing your sport that you love and whatnot, but it's a true business, as we all know. And so when you can come back to a place that welcomes you with open arms and wants you to come back, and you have relationships, whether that's, I saw Horonis and he was walking down the tunnel, and a security guard that he walked by 100 times over his career, whether it's practice or game, and to be able to see them embrace and welcome him back. So things like that are hard to replace. And so to your point, when you do get them back collectively, a ton of people working behind the scenes to make that come to fruition, and then you see the response that the likes of Hronis and Sabrina received is never a dull moment.
Yeah, I just think that's so cool. And I should say, like, you're one of many that get to help facilitate that. But that, to me, that's just such a special thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's...
It's special in the sense that if you do it right and tastefully, you can see the joy for them.
100%.
It's even better when you look up and you see the fans and the people smiling and taking photos and whatnot. So it works both ways where, again, going back to this presentation, we put on a 4-hour infomercial for the University of Oregon.
Yeah.
And we get to watch a game, too, while we're at it.
Right.
And so you want to be on your A game.
Yeah, I'm with you. H.J. Cohn joining us. We'll come up with a title for him that he can add to his business card later on. Some other updates for you. We'll get a timeout, come back, a lot more to cover, and then Matt Ulmer, Oregon Volleyball head coach, will be with us here coming up in just a bit as well. Stick with us. Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Coming back to the Country Financial Studio in a moment on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
This is Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I lack a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
He's H.J. Cohn, Senior Associate Athletic Director. That was good.
Well, I thought like Mighty Oregon, you wanted me to clap, so shout comes out. I got to do it now.
Yeah, no, that was really good.
Gives a test to me.
Do you like that change to our broadcast?
Yeah, I do.
A little bit of that
new.
every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it made it a little bit more Oregon specific, a little more fun for us. I'm all in.
New year, new Joey.
You know, we can all improve. I go to the doctor at the end of every season, end of every broadcast. Look, we can all improve.
There you go. I like the new transition. That's good.
Looking for efficiencies. So we did get a suggestion for you from the comment section, and you know I think that you could just be team dad for everybody.
Okay.
That seems to track.
Who's that from?
So I should clarify. There's the Athletic Director Tuesday has really widened from Rob's office down to Senior Associate Athletic Directors, Deputy Athletic Directors, Assistant Athletic Directors. There are a lot of levels of, I don't know, how would you consider that?
Just
the
say
hierarchy?
the name. Was it an in-house comment?
But it was not an in-house comment. So Tobiah suggested, avid listener, Matt Ulmer's here, by the way. Wow, Matt Ulmer's on Lombardi time. He's early. Well done, Coach. Well done. Thank you. So
just voluptuous hair always. It
always
looks so good. It looks so good.
So as a deputy athletic director of sorts, he said, "What if we just abbreviated you to Dad?" You know.
Okay.
You're senior associate athletic director, so I'm sure we can get something.
So the irony about that is,
I knew we'd get him there.
Yeah, I know you'd get something. And Tobias is on. He's on his A game. So the irony about that is I still play in City League basketball once a week.
Of course you do.
And to qualify for that team, well, the team name is Dad Bod. And so I actually thought that was someone like that new Team Dad Bod maybe, and that's where the dad comes. I'll take you know what? I'll take it as a compliment. I don't think it's a dig.
No.
I like it.
That's great. H.J. Cohn is our guest. Men's basketball season tickets. Email went out today.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Good. Awesome. Yeah, I think similar to all of our sports, particularly when we open conference play for those sports that play in the conference schedule, just new opponents as a whole have gotten people excited. Change is not always easy, but can be good. And so in my friends even that I'm talking to about basketball season, excitement around certain teams coming into Eugene. Yeah. And so I think that is going to continue to percolate throughout all of our sports in the different seasons of, new team, and nothing against a previous conference opponent. But to be able to go watch a Purdue come in for basketball is exciting. And Purdue's an anomaly because they're a top 5-10 program. Right. In recent memory, but to see those teams come in, different cultures, different legacies, if you will, pertaining to those sports is exciting. So we expect Matthew Knight to be rocking this year and have a good season ahead of us.
Men's golf is another sport that you're the sport administrator for, and I feel like that's one that doesn't change as much as maybe some others. They were already kind of doing tournaments with a bunch of different teams. Men's golf season is going to get rolling here pretty soon.
Yeah, they play in what we call invitationals, and they've pretty good track record when you have a coach as tenured as Casey has been here. He's got those relationships and kind of has a plan in place of where he wants to go, different types of tournaments, different types of fields from a competition standpoint. A newer team this year, a lot of newer faces, a younger team in a sense, but a chance to be really good. And they head up north this weekend to see kind of where they stand. Fall's kind of that period where you find out who your travel squad is. It's fun when you're going out and competing against yourselves at a local course that you play frequently. But then when you get out there in different weather conditions and a different course layout, and that you're scoring it to be part of a team game that's counting, you really get a chance to see of who's that travel squad going to become spring when we get to postseason.
Yeah. Duck Athletic Fund update. So one of a big anniversary for Women in Flight, which is pretty darn exciting this year.
Yeah, 10-year anniversary. It's all crazy to think that it was almost 11 years ago that we kind of went to the drawing board and came up with an idea or a program that could be impactful across so many levels throughout our department and student athletes. And to look forward now and see where it's at 10 years later certainly is an honor and is a testament to all the people out there that have supported it, including the former female student athletes that have benefited from it and want to get involved as an alum now. So it's been that program is near and dear to my heart and special to a lot of people. Celebrating 10 years of it this year, we're going to have an event on October 7th that we'll make public here soon to really just have a celebration and a birthday party.
Yeah, that's awesome. H.J. Cohn, any final thoughts? What else should fans know heading into week 2 for Duck football and beyond?
Yeah, I mean, I think we covered a lot of it. There's, we got a couple fall sports that have already started. We got some others that are not far off. Lots to do in Eugene. We're really trying to make sure that, again, those game day experiences and then also the Fridays before, the Sundays after. You got Matt here leading a program that he's built, and it's a strong program. And my wife and I were talking about it the other day. Just going and watching those matches live is something different that you can't experience everywhere. And we have it in our backyard in the state. And it's not just a team. They're a damn good team. And like I said, he and his staff have built that over the years. And we hope that our fans continue to understand how great it is to have a venue like Matthew Knight and to go see a program that they have. And the same thing goes with soccer. Graham's off to a nice start this year. Kind of hit a refresh button and back to the drawing board. And they've came out really strong and exciting to be able to go to Pape Field, especially under the good weather right now, and enjoy what Oregon Athletics has to offer.
He's H.J. Cohn, Senior Associate Athletic Director. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and thanks to all of our fans as well for the support. We're excited for upcoming games.
Yeah. The head of hairstyling, Matt Ulmer, is coming up next.
Dad bod.
He got it in. Matt Ulmer, Oregon Volleyball head coach. We're going to chat with him coming up.
I got to go get a cheeseburger now.
Yeah, you didn't do it today, did you?
Well, now that I'm dad bod, dad bod, you can have whatever.
Yeah, our friends at Carl's Jr. always help you out.
That's my guy, Mr. Karcher.
It's an annual tradition now that whenever you come on the show, he still has never walked in with a bag and shared.
Yeah, because there's reasons. I don't need you guys to see my order. That's how you become Team Dad bod, if you see how many items.
But if it gets you on that City League team.
That's right.
That's all that matters.
Got to meet the parameters.
Timeout. When we come back, Matt Ulmer joins us. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
There's still time to squeeze more out of summer at Toyota's National Sales Event. Now, if I can just squeeze more clothes into this suitcase for my road trip, got it!
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends September 3rd. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
There's still time to squeeze more out of summer at Toyota's National Sales Event. Now, if I can just squeeze more clothes into this suitcase for my road trip, got it!
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends September 3rd. Toyota, let's go places.
Back to the Country Financial Studios in 60 seconds. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You taught me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Matt Ulmer's in the studio, and I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I said 1:35, and I put it on his calendar for 1:30. So when I said he was on Lombardi time, he actually was right on time. That's 1,000% my fault, Coach Ulmer. I apologize for that lunch that you probably had to completely scarf.
Man,
is that true?
The panic that I had when I realized my time had changed. But you know what? I got to watch H.J., which that made my day.
I just want you to know that I just updated the calendar event, so please let me know if it messes up your lunch again. Okay, my bad.
Joey, thank you.
Thank
you for having me. And
he's
thank
Matt
you
Ulmer.
For
he's
getting me here on time.
He's the Oregon Volleyball head coach. We've also been coming up.
Can we get back to?
Yeah, we can. But I felt really bad. I didn't know
if
you'd want the handshake.
Why?
I don't know.
I forgive you.
Do you?
Yeah, I already knew you weren't perfect, so that's just solidified. What I knew,
nobody's
so
perfect.
That's fine. Yeah.
Did you? So have we talked to? I don't know what happened. Have we talked to you about? I broke it. Have we talked to you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
Oh, okay, good.
Are
Have
you
we
okay?
talked to you? No, my headset.
Has it been like this all day?
No, my headphones stopped working.
Oh, okay.
Have we talked to you about how we've been coming up with other names for people? So, like, you're the head coach of Oregon Volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
We've decided John Sargent, the director of Food and Beverage Services, he is now the head of Hangar Management.
Okay.
Jason Harris.
That's important.
Yeah, Jason Harris began this. I was like, so what do you want me to call you? The ticket guru? He was like, no, I'm just like the head of people in venues, which is accurate. I've decided that you're the head of hairstyle.
Oh, wow. So for everybody?
Everybody in the department.
So do I need to step in when people need help? Is that
maybe? I don't know.
Okay.
I just think
maybe we'll wait till we're off air.
Why?
Never mind. It's fine.
Matt Ulmer, Oregon volleyball head coach, is with us. Hey, got to see your team in action.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome environment, I thought, at Matthew Knight Arena on Friday and on Sunday. Some of your takeaways from the weekend, Coach?
I mean, I thought the first set was just absolutely horrible. I think it was probably the worst volleyball we've played in my 11 years here, I think. But just a lot of hesitancy, a lot of nerves, a lot of bad.
It happens.
But what I loved was our quick response.
Yeah.
And then I thought we were competing, point for point for the last two sets with Pitt. And so I thought a lot of growth from, the exhibition the week before with Oregon State, from our first set at Pitt to those next two sets. And, we have to learn how to win, especially against, Pitt's now number 3 in the country. Obviously, they're very talented. But we were right there. We had 2 sets, the second 2 sets, and it would have really been nice to get one of those and kind of see where that took us. But I thought we came back in both of them. I thought we showed a lot of hunger and resiliency and, just a lot of really good qualities I thought we had. And we started to figure out our lineup a little bit and started to figure out who we are a little bit. And, again, that was, I thought, some really good volleyball for a couple sets, from both sides. And then, then come back against Long Beach State, who's a good team, and, put together a pretty complete performance, statistically everywhere. That it just felt more like our volleyball. And I was just really impressed with the growth so far.
That's what I was going to ask you, is it felt like it was just a steady improvement all weekend. Like, how rewarding is that as a coach? And is that what you saw as a staff?
Well, it's what we talk about. It's what we talked about last week.
Right.
As much as we want results, and of course we want to beat Pitt, like that's, right now it's about, can we figure out who we are? Can we figure out, where we need to continue to grow? And then can we handle the situations better? And again, I thought we, by the end of the weekend, I thought we looked like a pretty decent volleyball team. And, hopefully we can just keep going up.
Yeah, I did want to ask you about a couple individuals. Maybe let's start with Colby Neal. A single match record for swing percentage, which is amazing. I mean, you've had some really efficient performances. In fact, I think it was 2 years ago we were talking about, like, I think you said, like, I think that's a record. And she was 13 for 14 on
Kara
swings.
McGee had one last year, I think, in Colorado.
It was just over there. 900.
And then Serena Warner, I feel like that was my first year. She had a great match at Washington State.
Yeah.
But this was 13 kills, right? From Colby in 3 sets, which, that was fantastic. So, good for Colby. She was working really hard. Chris was finding her well. I thought, we ball controlled so much better.
Yeah.
It really, throughout the weekend, it just kept getting better and better. And so we actually started passing the ball well. And, so Chris had a lot of options and we could get the middle involved. And they, again, if we could pass the ball well enough, you can't key on anybody with this group. There's a lot of weapons everywhere, especially with the back row attack the way we're running it. So, Colby had a lot of good looks, and she put him down, and, that was fun to watch.
How much does that help your offense, Coach? I mean, when you have someone in the middle that's that efficient.
Oh, it's massive.
You've had a few of those over the time. You mentioned a couple of them.
Yeah, I mean, Colby and Oni right now, Emia Taverdi, who you haven't seen yet, the 3 of them are, excellent middles. And I think they're really starting to again, I think it's only been a couple weeks, so I think the connection with the setters, hopefully we can only get better, at that. But it's not bad at this point of the year. And, but we just need opportunities to give them the ball, and when we do, it's high level. And again, you got Michelle, Sophie, or Mimi hitting out of the back row. On top of that, that's a really stressful combo, I think, for most teams to have to stop. So, if we can continue to give ourselves better opportunities, we can get everybody involved.
To that point, how much has Mimi just improved as an overall all-around player? I mean, it seems like the versatility is just better and better every season.
Yeah, I mean, I thought she passed well this weekend, and that's been something that we haven't really asked a ton of her in the past, but she's getting a lot more confident at it. She's moving better. She's staying more athletic on the tough service opportunities, and really gaining a lot of touch and feel back there, which is awesome and important for us. We asked her to pass for half the rotations, and she's going to be a target because of how hard she can hit the ball.
Right.
She can score. People are going to try to make her do both, and I thought she handled it really well. So that's a huge piece for us. And then Michelle, Daly and Mackenzie, handling the rest of it, just learning how to play together and, how to best work their seams. And, I thought I thought a lot of growth there, and that's a huge piece for us. It's something we've done so well the last handful of years is pass the ball.
Yeah.
And we've had some great ones with Gabby and Georgia and Brooke, et cetera. So now just kind of a new identity for us.
Well, and it's an everybody thing, right? Like there's some individuals certainly that are more involved than others, but I know it's such a huge key for you staying in system. You want that sort of efficiency. How much of that does come too with just chemistry on the floor? Like
Yeah.
a feel? I don't know. How much
So
of
some
that
of it is individual technique and how they're handling it, but then again, I think a lot of it right now is just us getting used to how to play like the in-between balls together. Right. So we'll call it seam balls. Like they have to work out how they're going to do that. And I think for Mackenzie, in the libero uniform here, it's like being much more aggressive. Her and Daly being much more aggressive in the seams and taking more court, pushing people around. Being more offensive with with their role in serve receive.
Interesting.
Again, the way you would see Georgia or Brooke in the past do that. So now it's just
Move
yeah,
people around,
exactly.
yeah.
Set yourself up. And so I think that's just a new concept for them. And again, I thought they got better and better as the week went on, and we're about to get to play 3 matches and get a lot more reps doing it.
I guess to wrap what you saw just from the whole weekend. So now you have some momentum and have gotten better. Practice this week. Some of your focuses. What do you want to see heading into the weekend?
Yeah, I think similar. I really appreciate when we play good teams because they show us what we're doing well and what we're not. So again, against Pittsburgh, once we started passing like you could see our offense that we were able to run and how to get people involved, but our block was fantastic. We really started to serve the ball much better. The improvement from serving from Oregon State exhibition to this weekend was off the charts, and again, I thought our passing got only better, so then we could start to run the tempo that we would like to run a little bit more. But I think our block, we're over 3 blocks a set right now.
Yep.
If you count the exhibition, we're almost at 4 blocks a set. Like we're doing that at a really high level. So can we dig more balls behind the block? That's going to be the next big piece for us. So as I'm watching, there's a couple things that we need to continue to, that we worked on today, to focus on.
In football, there's an old adage that it's like from game 1 to game 2 is often your biggest improvement.
Mm-hmm.
How true is that in volleyball? Like, there's so many more matches, but, like we talked just about this weekend from 1 to 2, but now you have a week. Is it like from one weekend to another? Is that as true in your sport?
I kind of feel like, the first match is like Christmas morning.
Right.
So it's like all the anticipation and the excitement and all those things, and then it's like it's over. Which is nice. Now you kind of get back to life and you figure out what you actually got for your gifts and you're trying to, the whole deal.
Right.
And so for us, I feel like that was a lot of that first set was just they're so excited, but it's like you're blown with emotions. It's like so you can't actually get into a groove.
So then you have to take a nap at noon after
It's
Christmas
exactly
morning.
right.
Yeah.
Especially if you had turkey, right?
Exactly.
But I thought, for us, we kind of got that out of our system. And now you're just focusing on, okay, like we actually have to get better at these tactical or technical things and how to work together. And again, I thought our focus the next day, very disappointed after Pittsburgh, but our focus the next day in practice and film was really good. And then they came out and I thought they executed at a high level.
The floor.
Hey,
tell us about
it. What'd you think?
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
No idea how it feels to play on it, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, after our first practice last week on it, the players came up there like, it's amazing how much better my body feels just after a day.
Really?
Which is really cool. Yeah, we make a lot of floor moves, and on the hardwood it's pretty unforgiving.
Sure.
So I think their bodies just felt better, jumping, landing. So hopefully that piece will help. But we're much more aggressive making moves on that floor, which is great. And I thought it looked great. And it's nice to have a volleyball only, court for us. And I think it looked good on TV. So all those things, check.
First of all, I love the amount of green. That's
we kind of like that around here.
Yeah, right. But I totally agree with you that like there's something special about just having a court that's unique to the sport. I think. I mean that's got to make the student athletes feel pretty darn good too. I'd imagine.
I think so. Yeah. No, they were all really excited about it, and I think they have pride and ownership with that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Matt Ulmer, Oregon Volleyball head coach, joining us. So Colorado State, Grand Canyon, Central Arkansas. You're hitting the road to Fort Collins this week. What do you anticipate?
Well, so first match, Colorado State. So Sonia Newcomb Anderson, like she is assistant coach at Colorado State.
Yeah.
So we get in, and then we're having dinner at her house, Sonia and Kyle's house. Yes.
That's awesome.
With baby Owen. So we get to do that right away, which is really cool, to have that.
Last I saw Sonia was when she was pregnant.
Yeah, Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, Hall of Fame. That's right.
Yep. So she's doing a great job there. Colorado State's a really nice team with a tremendous opposite, and they normally pack the house great. So for a match like this, I think it'll be a really good atmosphere for us, and that's what I'm hopeful for. Again, our conference is, huge fan support, when we go on the road. So anything we can do to kind of get some of that in the non-conference to get us ready, we were trying to do. So I think that Colorado State match will be a tough one. It'll be good. And Grand Canyon is a tournament team, and very balanced, good team. Central Arkansas is on its way up, and so I think it'll be a nice weekend for us.
I've asked you this before, and someone actually asked me over the weekend, so I wanted to bring it up again. Now you're not going to as significant of altitude every year. How does it change when you're playing in Colorado? Does it change very much in your sport?
I mean, when I'm coaching, I don't really notice a ton, but I feel like the players have had.
Really?
Yeah, we've had some altitude sickness when we've been there. Not every year, but maybe every other year we have. So
it's like in baseball, the ball spins
more fluids,
different.
right? More fluids, more carbs. I think that's it, and things like that. So, I think from a volleyball standpoint, the serve, it messes with your serve. Like I feel like you can't be as aggressive. The ball will float on you a little bit more. So it's just small changes like that. So you kind of have to back off and just locate a little bit better.
When you do serve and pass, like, do you have things that you want, like identifying marks? Like what's the flow of getting comfortable?
Yeah, I have like little dot targets that I'll put out, like things that I want them to work on. Or right now the big thing is we have like this cord that we'll put at the top of the antenna.
Wow. And
so we're just working on ball flight and repeatability. So right now I just want them to be able to hit the same serve 3 times in a row. If they don't get that, then they're doing sit-ups or something. But there's different visuals we can put out there for them to work on. And it could be based on a game plan. Like maybe this week, like we really need to be able to serve, area 5 deep. So a portion of the court, like we need to be able to execute that, or a short serve or whatever that's going to be. So then we'll highlight that a little bit more throughout the week of practice.
And then every now and then there's like that one light that's just slightly pointed down lower, and where you're getting blinded, right?
That's right.
When you're trying
so you
to
aim
dig.
for that, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
That makes sense. Matt Ulmer, Oregon Volleyball head coach. What else should fans know? What did we miss today?
I thought the fan support was really great on Friday, especially go ahead, clap, yeah. Again, I would say for, without students in session and everybody back in town, I feel like it was a really large crowd for us in non-conference. Cool. So, there was years where we had like Texas, Florida, Nebraska in a tournament, and I think we outdrew that, and that was a, big time deal. Cool. So, and I thought, the crowd was really into it. So, that was really exciting. We only have one more non-conference home game, and that's against the Beavers. So, hopefully that will be, that will be attended well. And then it's a week of welcome for Illinois, Indiana, and that's when, all the incoming freshmen are here. And
that's always a fun weekend.
So I don't know, just the level of support and just consistent support, is really growing. And our team can feel it, our staff can feel it, and it's really awesome. So thank you very much to everybody who's coming out and being a part of it.
Green beard.
I know. I told my wife. I think I told her, and she was fine.
Of course she was.
Yeah, she is okay with that.
She's a team player.
Yeah, she understands what's at stake.
That's right.
Yeah, she's focused.
How do the kids feel about it? Do we know yet?
Oh, they would love it.
Yeah, I think
they'd be the ones that want to do it.
I think it'd be an annual tradition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I have to tell you, I've roped Jerry Allen in to Greenbeard.
Oh yeah.
So Jerry.
What'd he say? Yeah.
Jerry has a great beard. He grew it last year. His wife did not like it, so he got rid of it. So this year I was like, Jerry, bring the beard back. If Duck football goes undefeated,
there we go.
He's dyeing the beard green.
Okay. I'm down for that. That'd be great.
Yeah. I think we can drum this up more.
Yeah.
It can grow beyond.
We could combo it.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice combo.
It would be that would be the greatest Duck Insider ever. Just you and him as Greenbeard. We're doing it.
So distracting.
So great, though.
Yeah, we'll do it.
It would be absolutely
Can
phenomenal.
you grow yours?
Mine comes in patchy, but it can be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like a little Christmassy, maybe.
It would
be. Little red and green.
It would be.
That'd be good.
The skin is very sunburned.
And it's December when that would happen. So
that's right. And I would still.
You could be very festive.
Georgie makes fun of me for this. I would still get sunburned in December. Yes, that's me. Yes. So.
Well, the sun is so unforgiving,
Right. Especially for my complexion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great shade of.
Thank you.
Yep.
The head of hairstyle, Matt Ulmer,
yes.
Oregon Volleyball head coach.
I need that on a business card or something.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Hey, it's great to have you.
Thanks. And I got a whole extra 5 minutes, and that was wonderful.
You just got to watch H.J. work.
He did wonderful. Yeah, it was great.
That's
Dad
right.
bod.
When we come back, we'll try to put the show back on.
How do I get on his basketball team?
You're in too good a shape.
Oh, okay.
More coming on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you. On the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Duck Insider continues from the Country Financial Studios in 1 minute on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle.
Or forget extra diapers.
You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up. It's shifting. I looked through his eyes. I can envision the whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. My life is now devoted to his life.
Through all of fatherhood's firsts, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
We're back. It's Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack with you in the Country Financial Studio. Busy day. Coach Lanning, Coach Ulmer, H.J. Cohn, and then today after practice, Dante Manning and Dylan Gabriel met with the media. The Quack Video crew was hard at work during the show. We'll have those for you on the air tomorrow. And then I'm looking forward to catching up with Bob Beeler, get the view from the Boise State side. He's been the play-by-play voice for the Broncos for 15 years now. And you know that Boise State team, they gave up a lot of points. They scored a lot of points last week too. They know what it means coming to Autzen Stadium and potentially getting a win. Now, if you're the Ducks, Coach Lanning always says it. You go to the doctor. You get better at things. See that improvement from week 1 to week 2 and what it may look like. We'll find out. Saw a question earlier about Peacock. Yes, even if you have cable, the game is only on Peacock. It's a new era we're living in. There's TV channels and there's streaming services. I don't know. See you tomorrow.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the